Did you know that lumberjacks make great singers? It's kind of interesting, but they do specialize in timber. My name is Victor Ashley at Skyline Properties. I'm a real estate agent out of Seattle, Washington. You could reach me directly at 425-559-4590. Please like, subscribe, follow. And I'm not exactly sure if this is content that is for you, but it might be for you or somebody that you know. So please like and share as well. So I do daily reviews of the greater Seattle area, and I'm going to get into the Crown Hill neighborhood of North Seattle, 98117. But just as a personal note, I just want to say thank you for actually watching my channel. I'm a newer YouTuber, but I've been in the real estate market now going on 2 years. And I've sold a couple of houses, and I just wanted to take a quick moment and go over both my situation and also potentially your situation. I'm a renter, kind of got priced out. I'm in my mid 30s. And then at the same time, a lot of the people that I know, they're in the same situation. So, constantly I get people just sending me, Redfin or Zillow ads just saying, hey, can you take a look at this house? I'd like to buy that house someday. And they don't know what to do about that. So specifically, follow this channel, and then we'll actually get into some of that and actually how to get there. That's the main reason why I'm doing this. But at the same time, the market's shifted quite a bit. I do represent both buyers and sellers, but I don't represent them both in the same transaction. But this is a buyer's market right now, and let's get into the actual numbers, and I'll give you a reason why. Okay, so I got this pulled up, and we're going to go into the 98117, the Crown Hill neighborhood in North Seattle, and I used to live here. So let's get started. This is Crown Hill. It's mostly known for Golden Gardens. It's over here. Golden Gardens is one of the two beaches in Washington that has both sand and fir trees. Just as a quick side note, I used to live over here too, and that's the reason why I picked it. Now I live over here in the Queen Anne area, and we're going to review that one tomorrow. And then if you've been watching any of my videos, I actually review mostly this area right here. And this is the North Linwood area as well. So just as a quick side note, this is about 4, maybe 5 miles north of the Space Needle for Crown Hill. And I've been saying Linwood's about 8 miles away. And I drove up there yesterday, and I was like, actually, this is like 12 miles. So I just wanted to take a quick note and say, hey, I make mistakes too. And I prefer to work in square feet instead of miles. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's get this thing started. So Crown Hill, this is a nice little area. Let's get into the market averages. So the market averages I pulled up for Crown Hill this week, and this is the week of March 5th. Is $556 a square foot, and your average house, when I actually accumulated these all together and ran an aggregate, it looks like about $800,000, 102 days on market, 3 beds, 2 bath, and a little under 1,500 square feet. So this is the reason why I said we're now in a buyer's market, specifically in this zone. Okay. Now, again, I'm not an analyst. I can't officially declare it a buyer's market in this area. You're going to hear a lot of people saying that, we're not in a buyer's market, or we are in a buyer's market. Specifically, what I'm looking for is at least 3 months of inventory in this area. So let's get into one of the things that I see as an issue with the inventory interpretation too. So according to this stat sheet that comes out from the MLS every single month, we're only at 0.5 inventory. So that what that means is if we had nothing else that came on market today, we'd have about 2 weeks. But we see that there's houses staying on the market for 102 days. So that doesn't exactly make sense. So what you can tell is, new listings have gone in half from last year. But another thing that's gone since last year, the interest rates. The interest rates used to be in the 4s and approximately March last year, and now we're in the 7s. So it's really affected our buyer pool, and the qualified buyers that are left in the market right now, they're the most advantageous, but at the same time, we're still having downward pressure, and it's not exactly we're not at the bottom yet. I don't want to declare a bottom. And then at the same time, I'm not an analyst in any way. I'm not a financial guru. And I'm also not advising you right now. I'm just giving you a general idea. You can hire me directly if you want, and I can give you some advice. But at the same time, you have to make your own educated decisions. And I'm just trying to share where we are exactly in the market today. So let's actually just go over what they used to go for just last year. So just last year, and again, because I lived in this area for that whole duration of last year up until like just 3 months ago, I moved to Queen Anne. We were seeing sales averaging a little over 1.1 million. Well, today we're seeing sales average at 830,000. Also, because of the buyer pool has been affected, we're seeing that listings are not getting bid up 15% higher right here. Okay. They're not getting bid up 15% higher. They're going for very close to list. But at the same time, there's also a hidden stat in here. If they lower their cost, even $50,000 or something like that, and then you bid exactly what their new list cost is, it's going to show up in our MLS as 100% of list instead of that 50,000 that's missing. So there is a hidden stat in there. The price corrections right now, just from the market average, are in the mid 30s. So for everybody that's been on the market for a while, more than likely you've changed your price once or two times. And let's actually get into one of those. So let's actually see what it costs to buy a house in this neighborhood. Okay, so $800,000 in purchase price. You're going to be looking at a mortgage price of about $720,000. That means that you're going to bring a down payment close to $80,000 and $230,000 in monthly income in your household. I also will put the monthly debts on the lower end of this. But at the same time, remember that everybody's financial situation is completely different. I do work with mortgage advisors that can help you with this. And if you need a referral, just get a hold of me, or you can check out the videos I have right here. That's with Tucker and Heidi. They did some videos for me earlier. So again, everybody's credit scenario is different, but I want to give you an idea of what it looks like. And just from our Google aggregator today, it's quoting us interest rates at 7.7. So to actually afford this house, you have to have a household income of $230,000, bring a down payment of at least $80,000. That's about 10%. And let's actually see what that mortgage cost looks like monthly. So what that looks like monthly is $5160 a month. Now, giving you an idea on this, last year at the same price with different interest rates was $3,500 a month. So costs have increased approximately 150% to rent, to buy in this area. I haven't compared rents yet. We haven't even gotten into that yet. But to buy this house last year to today has increased 150% to actually purchase this house. This is one of the reasons why we're having a decrease in the buyer pool right now. So I just wanted to go over that. And then at the same time, what do the people in the actual area make on average, just from going through the Census Bureau? I pulled some numbers last week, but the average capita person, the average capita household in this neighborhood, now keep in mind that can include a renter, a couple of renters, multi-generational house, or one or two people in the households. But if somebody came into anybody that filled out the Census Bureau, so it's all over the place, but on average, they're making $147,000 a year. Now, more than likely, they're going to use some sort of VA or FHA loan because the down payment would be lower. So let's just put the down payment a little bit lower, and we're going to keep them at, we're going to move them down to the FHA on a 30-year. And just so you know, FHA and VA, their loans usually have a lower interest rate. So I'm not saying that we're not in the sevens right now, but that is almost exactly 7, just so you see. And that's with somebody that theoretically would have perfect credit or very close to perfect credit and very low monthly rate. But today's cost to actually buy that house with this kind of purchasing power, they wouldn't be able to afford that. They'd only be able to afford $521,000. And then on the other side of that, what it would actually look like for their actual monthly payment would be $2,300 a month with that $52,000 purchase price. So I just kind of want to go over that. And the main reason is I've had a couple of people reach out to me and they say, hey, I know you don't review the $1 million houses, Victor, because, you know, the buyer curve. But like, I still can't afford this house. I can't afford this area. So that's the reason why I actually do what the average people in that area make. So you can see if this is something that's close to you. And if not, I haven't gone through an individual bracket just so you have an idea. But I've been thinking about doing that also. So let's get into the actual houses. So now we have an idea of what we need. So, and again, we're going to notice that our average is right at right under 800,000. So let's take a look at our price per square foot is 556. And then let's move over here to something new that came on the market, and it was just over our 556. It's at 571. Okay, so just over, and it's number 15. And again, I want to thank everybody that actually watches these videos. You know, I'm kind of new to YouTube, and I just I'm doing this because I want to inform my clients, and at the same time, this is my buyer journey too, because I'm going to be eventually buying also, and I'm a real estate agent. So, you know, now you get to know how I see the houses. So let's just get started. So this one came on just 3 days ago. This is a, let me see, this is a 1925 home over in Crown Hill. It's $845,000, 3 days on market, smaller lot, just under 1,500 square feet, 3 beds and 1 3/4 bath. So this is actually almost exactly our average. It's just a little on the higher side here. So let's get into the actual house here. And again, I'm trying to figure out where to put my face in this. So, you know, just bear with me. Okay, so let's get in the inside. What I'm seeing is, even though it's an older house, this house is almost 100 years old. It has had some serious work done. These recessed lightings alone, that means that they peel back the ceiling, they put in the lighting. And, you know, yeah, this is a really nice house just from what I can tell. This overhead lighting here, like I said, this is a huge upgrade. And yeah, this is definitely something that I take a look at, only because of the lighting. Now, I'm kind of geeking out about the lighting, but it's actually the electrical and the ceiling is one of the things that gets overlooked all the time on a remodel. So when I see that, I kind of like that. So I just want to get into that. Yeah, we got the molding finish. Looks like real hardwood in here. It's not a vinyl plank. And this is what I talk about with the kitchens all the time. The kitchens are, you know, a lot of grays, a lot of steel, yeah, a lot of white. It just looks like a magazine. This is kind of what it looks like. And then we have the tile backsplash. So all in all, I really like this kitchen remodel. Looks like the kitchen was remodeled in 2019. So inside, I do like the this is the 3/4 bath. This is the full bath. This has a tub. Yeah, just lots of upgrades to this house. So let's actually look at, here's something I haven't talked about in a while, but let's talk about property taxes. So annual taxes on this is just under just over $6,300. So how this works is 2 times a year, April and October, you get a tax bill and it becomes due. It becomes due, I believe, in April and October. And it's $6,300 a month, and it's split up into 2 payments, or it could be something that is paid into an escrow account on your mortgage. So notices of notices of tax increases, they've been going out this year. They take a long time to catch up, but they're starting to catch up to the actual housing values in this area. But for a couple of years, the houses went up a ton, in appraised value. But then at the same time, the tax assessed value didn't catch up to it yet. So a lot of the cities, municipalities, and states are catching up to to these houses in the area, and they're actually, they want their pound of flesh, and they're gonna get their tax money from it. So things in here to remember: seller procured inspection and sewer scope is available. You want to still do your own, and the reason why is because the seller has no duty to tell you everything, or they have a duty to disclose everything that they know as material fact, but at the same time you want to get your own too. Okay. It's just it becomes an issue of he said she said, and you really want to actually have your own documentation. And then at the same time, when the inspector is doing the inspection, he might, because obviously the seller is paying him, he might actually make a change to his diagnosis. Now, I'm not going to say that happens, because I have a lot of friends in the inspection industry, and I know that more than likely doesn't happen, but it can be perceived as that. And you want to make sure that you get your own. I'm going to recommend to my clients, and I still do, that they get their own inspection. There's only been once or twice that we waived it, and that was something because they specifically wanted to waive it. So I recommend you get an inspection, and let's just talk about that later. Okay, so let's get moving, because we're taking a little bit long on this one. So let's go to one that's significantly under the market. And this is something that I'm seeing too, is some new ones are coming on, and they're undercutting the market quite a bit. And as you could tell in here, our days on market are pretty high. We have like, this is 9 months. This is 8 months. This is 7 months. This is 2.5 months. This is 9 months. This is 4 days. This is, all right, again, 7 months. So let's go with the 4-day one and see what's going on with it, because it's priced a little bit more aggressively and priced to sell. And again, anybody that gets to this point, I want to thank you for actually watching the video. I want to just tell you, I reshoot these things 2 or 3 times sometimes, and it's really hard to keep the energy up. And I understand that, this is a very dry concept to actually go through the numbers with it. But at the same time, this is not a channel where I talk about, let me show you houses. Let me show you houses. Let me show you pictures of pretty houses. Let's get you in a house. That's not what this is going for. This is a very detailed analysis that actually go into what you need to be looking for as a first-time home buyer, or as somebody that's thinking about getting into investing. Okay, so 3 beds, 1 bath, still in the Crown Hill neighborhood, 1,880 square feet, 4 days on market, smaller lot, just like everybody else, and it's $799,000. Price per square foot is $434, and it looks like $434, and our other 434 divided by 556. This is 22% below market. So there might be something going on. It is an old house. It's 1917, but it's 78% of market right now. So that means it has a 22% discount. Let's actually get into it, because it might actually tell us why. So outside looks pretty nice. Just a regular craftsman house. When we get into the inside, it's been remodeled quite a bit. And then, I like the molding in here. I do like the ceiling molding. That's a huge upgrade for me. I just like the molding in it. Lighting, we don't have any recessed lighting, but we have a decent amount of lighting in here. Again, this is staging photos, so more than likely they just brought in all these lamps to make it as bright as possible. And that's the reason why too, with that other one that I geeked out about, the overhead lighting. A lot of these old houses, they don't have a lot of lighting naturally into it, or just they don't have a lot of lighting wired in. So when you get that upgrade, it's just a huge upgrade. As you can tell, you take out the lamps, it's going to be dark in that room. So let's just keep going. Kitchen looks very similar to the last one. Like I always talk about, white kitchen, steel appliances, tile backsplash. It's just all over the place right now. Granite And yeah, just one thing too with these kind of houses, just so you know, heating is going to be an issue. They're just an older house. They have different insulation types, and at the same time, depending on if it's been retrofitted, the heaters, it might be a wall heater, it might be some sort of we just don't know what the heating is going to be in when we get into it. Okay, so let's do our last one, and then we'll call it good for today. But I want to go with something that is a little bit more in the price point with what people can actually buy based on my analysis I had earlier. So let's go with number one. So number one, 2 beds, 1 3/4 bath, 1,250 square feet. And if you started with me in this channel from the beginning, you'll know that this one has been on the market for a bit, and I've reviewed this a couple of times. So this is $449 a square. This is $449,000, and the square footage cost it comes out to $358. Now this is 1 bed, 1 3/4 bath, so that means one of the baths doesn't have a bathtub, and the HOA is $501 a month. But this is a good example of some condos that are sitting out there on the market that are still affordable for some people to buy. Now, this is on the 2nd floor. As you can tell, there's some upgrades to the condo that you can do. I would recommend, you see the baseboard heating in here. You want to make sure those are serviced, as well as maybe replacing the carpet with some sort of laminate or LVP, just because it's going to be easier to maintain. Outside, it has a very large balcony. And, just as a disclaimer, I've been in these units before, and I've also, I used to run through this area, and I've ran past this quite a bit. So I still see the sign every day, and it's kind of funny because I see it. It's been on market now for 56 days, and a little bit of a past. You can see over here how the kitchen's aged just a little bit. So let's get into the kitchen. Not bad for cabinets. Cabinets been slightly upgraded. I would say more than likely you're going to replace the paint just to begin with, and maybe the countertops. Everything else looks pretty decent that you could use. Maybe this flooring, might remove that. But yeah, just as a beginner, this is actually a pretty decent looking house, even though it's a condo. So this has been on. This is with Redfin, and again, I've been saying I've been passing this for a bit. So it's a condo association in 1980, and it's definitely in our price point, but at the same time, our HOA dues are going to affect our purchasing power. Okay, so just in conclusion, I want to again say thank you to anyone that's made it this far in the video. I do know that these get a little bit long, but I want to actually go through and give you an informed opinion of what I think of the market and what the numbers say about the market as well. And again, please like, subscribe, follow. And if this content might not be exactly for you, but it might be perfect for somebody that you know. And I think that it's important just to actually go through all this and be able to have an informed decision. So as usual, it was a pleasure working with you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.